welcome back to my channel. This is Stephanie Glitzzy Gem. Thank you for watching. For those who are new to my channel, please subscribe, the notification bell. Also give my video a thumbs up because it helps out my channel. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and do my update on our penny collab for the Panomenal ladies. So I'll be doing my film today. The ladies should be filming theirs also for today. Today is the 28th, so they should be filming theirs. But as I do, I'm going to go ahead and just create a look. I'm using my Best Life 2 palette. Just create a look and talk to you about my progress, show you the progress I did. So really, I'm just gonna create a look while I do this. I actually wanted to let y'all know that this has been a really fun collab for me. I'm so glad that I'm so glad that I have the ladies that I have that has stuck by me with this collab, and that were interested in doing this collab with me. I know that at first it was kind of like real redundant, where we were always using the same eyeshadow palettes every week, trying to create a look with the same eyeshadow palettes over and over, and it did seem kind of redundant. So we kind of felt like doing little updates once a month would be better, and also like doing like get ready with me's throughout the week would also be better in doing that as well. I've been doing my get ready with me's on a, you know, not on a regular, but I've done like 2 so far this month using my eyeshadow pans. But yeah, so that's really what I wanted to talk about. Just basically that's the whole point of a panning project. It takes time and effort, and it is where you have to, you know, dedicate some time to panning out your eyeshadows. It's hard. It is hard. So that's really all it is. It's really just more tedious than anything, and then looking for ways to create looks using the same palettes over and over. So that's, sorry, my phone rang there, so I totally lost track of what I was saying. No, what I was saying is that yeah, it's gonna be tedious doing these kind of collabs, but I think it's fun for you guys to watch us create looks with the eyeshadow palettes that we have. I do gotta say that you can come up with a lot of looks using these eyeshadow palettes depending on how many pans you have in your palettes. If you have like a numerous amount of pans in your palettes, you're gonna get numerous amounts of color combinations and what you're gonna be able to use to create an eye look. So that's what I like about these panning projects, and that they're entertaining. You're actually using up your product. You're not wasting product. You're actually, you know, dedicating yourself to actually use them. You know, you're actually taking the time to dedicate yourself to actually using your eyeshadows, and not just allowing them to collect dust. And this is the whole point of the reason why I started the panning project, just for those who's you know, for those who have eyeshadow palettes that y'all have in y'all's collection, viewers who have box subscriptions, beauty box subscriptions, you know, that give y'all eyeshadow palettes and y'all have not touched or worn. This gives you a reason to, you know, the collab, excuse me, the panning project gives you a reason to actually use your eyeshadow palettes that you're wanting to pan out, for the same fact you just don't want it to be collecting dust. So yeah, so that's really my take on the panning projects. I have another panning project on Sundays called Sample Sundays. If you haven't heard of that, you can check out my video playlist, or you can also check out the videos. If you hit the notification bell, it will notify you when I upload another Sample Sunday video. And it's also a panning project where you're actually panning out sample size items, which is pretty neat because we all have, you know, we all have, well, not all of us. I'm speaking for the ones who, I'm speaking for the ones who, you know, who have like bought an Ipsy, or, you know, who bought an Allure, you know, those who have, or who have Sephora samples. I'm speaking for those who have all these samples and whatchamacallit. Yeah, you have all these samples and you have not even went through those samples. So actually doing these samples, you know, doing you know, a panning project just for your deluxe samples is awesome. I think it's awesome. So yeah, so that's my take on panning projects. To me, I feel like they're supposed to be fun and interesting, and also giving you like your review on the palette, you know, because, you know, it's not just the first impressions, but it's also it's also, you're wearing it throughout the day, so you're actually getting a feel for, you're also getting a feel for it. You know, you're getting a feel for these palettes that you're using. So if you have not done so, why not start a panning project? If you have several or little pans, why not start a panning project? Why not? It's simple, easy. Like I said, it could be tedious, but, you know, it's better than having to keep buying eyeshadow palettes after eyeshadow palettes, and you don't know when to use them. You know, you're just having them, you know, collecting dust. You know, for those who are not YouTube creators who are able to give them away, I'm speaking for those who I'm speaking for you. I'm speaking for those who are, you know, viewers, you know, that have, you know, eyeshadows that are just sitting there collecting dust and not actually even working with them, because for whatever reason, because it could be because you just don't wear eyeshadow as much. But, you know, just, you know, it's fun to make it you know, to make it like a dedicated time out of the week to actually a dedicated time throughout the week to actually dedicate yourself to your palettes. Dedicate your time to your palettes and creating looks with them. So it's just one day out of the week. You know, it's not. There's no harm in that. Using them one day out of the week. You know, it's, to me, I think it's quite fun. To be honest, I think, yeah, it's quite fun for me to do that. So yeah, so I'm working on these. I'm working on trying to get these panned out, to be honest. So just okay, I'm gonna go ahead and come off camera. Go ahead and put my mascara on, maybe some lashes, I don't know. Maybe I'll just put mascara and eyeliner and just call it a look. And I'll come back on and I'll show you the progress I've made in each palette that I have with me. And yeah, I think it's fun. I totally think it's fun. So all right. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, put the rest of my makeup on and then come back on and talk to you more about the clip. All right, so now I'm back. So this is the look I created using my my Best Life 2 palette. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go over my update. So the two shades from my Bloom palette. See, I use my Bloom palette and my 3 Kaja stackables as one. So for my Bloom palette, you can see that there's a dent here and a dent there in these two shades. Alright, this is the Wisteria shade and this is the Tiger Lily. This is from Ulta Beauty Bloom palette. Now on my Kaja, this is in the Chocolate Dahlia. You can just see like a little dent there. And here, I'm not sure you can see like a little scrape right there as well. And the last one, you can also see more scrapes in this one as well. So these were pretty good. So these two, the Bloom palette and the Chocolate Dahlia, I'm making progress on. The next one I have is the Hella Azalea stackable. So this one is the shimmer. This one you can see a little, you can see dent in there. Then this one, I hardly ever use this shade because it is a hot pink shade and it's really hard to create a look using this hot pink shade. I mean, it's not hard, it's just you gotta come up with a really, you can either wear it by itself or pair with another shade. It's just not a very popular color, as well as this one wasn't a very popular color when doing my painting project. I have to work on them. So my goal is to work on these two for next month. These two shades from the stackable. Those are my two. That's my goal, is to work on those two. To at least get some dents in them because there's hardly any dents in them. So I will work on that one, on those right there. This is the Kaja Glowing Guayaba palette, or stackable, and this one does have a little indentation in it, not as much. And this is a shimmer, so the shimmers are always going to have like a little indentation in them as well. But yeah, so there's one here that has a bigger indentation than the first one, and then the last shade here is this one here. So these three colors, this purple looking color and this fuchsia and this last almost mauve brown looking tone, I will work on next month to create a look with these for this palette. Definitely. The next palette I have is the Viseart palette, which is my mattes. I've actually grown fond of this palette. I didn't think I was gonna have as much use out of this as I thought I would, and it's a really good transition shade palette. It's a really good palette for your outer corner. I love all these shades. As you can tell, they look like they have been worn evenly. They haven't been like one has not been worn more than the other, because I have actually been using them almost about the same. If I do have to say, I would have to say that maybe this shade here, that looks more like a base shade, that one I have worn more often than most other shades, because it is like a base shade that I would wear. But this is one I need to work on as well. So the next thing I have here is my Rock Metal palette by Beauty Glazed. And this is how it looks like right now. As you can see, there are lots of dents in here. Like here. I mean, they all have dents in them. They're just, this palette, the only one, I think this one has a less of a dent than all the other shades because it's a black shade and it's a more common, it's not more common to use, you know, on a regular basis. So I think this palette would be one that I would say that I've done more progress on than so this palette is one of the ones that I would say I had done more progress than most. Okay, so let me see. Let's move on. Let's move on to my Jordano Colors. I really didn't expect for this to be one of my favorite palettes. Not as one of my top favorite palettes, but one of my favorite palettes to have worked with for this painting project, because the colors here are all neutral. They're neutral shades, and so because they're neutral shades, I'm able to create all sorts of looks. I'm able to use this as a transition shade, as a topper, as an outer corner, a crease shade. You can use this palette as for all those sections on your eye to use this palette with. So as to say that there's some any indentions, I would have to say would be I would have to say this cream colored one has more indentions than any of the other rest of these shades. I've worn this palette, but not as often as I should. So this is another palette I need to work on. So these two palettes I need to work on, and the other shades from my Kaja palettes I have to work on. Stackables, I meant, not palettes. The next thing here is the Violet Voss Best Life 2 palette. Now this one already had it was broken when it was received to me. It was broken. So let me just go over the shades that are on here that I've been wearing, so you can see that I've been wearing all of these shades, even the ones that look like they've been panned out, but they were already like that. So I didn't do that myself, and I hardly wear these shades, but here's one that I've worn most frequently out of this palette. So this is one of them that I've done progress with. All the matte shades, I need to work on them. I need to work more on the matte shades in this palette. And then the glitters, you can see an indentation here. This indentation was not there before, but it's there since I've been using since my progress. It's been there. And then is there an indentation in this one? I think that's just something else that got on there. No, there's no indentation on that one. But yeah, so I think this is the only glitter pan that I've grown to. That's the one that I used today to create this look, and I've grown to like it more. I like that shade. I guess to match the shirt that I'm wearing, I wanted to wear that shade. But this is a beautiful palette overall. I do gotta say this is one of my favorite palettes as well, to use as a painting project. I mean, I've really liked the way this performed, the way the formula is. It's not one of my top 10, but it is one of the ones that I do like, you know, along with this palette that I got from Ross for like, I think it was like less than $6, I think. So last but not least, my BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. This one I have used a lot, quite a bit. Here we have it. So I think I've used this shade more. Pretty much all the shimmer shades have like some indentions in them, except for, let me see, I think Virgo doesn't have that much of an indentation in it as the shimmer shade, or Aries. Aries does not have an indentation in it either. And Gemini, Taurus, very little, not really, there's no kind of indentation. I can see that where they've been regularly tapped, but not, or even the Scorpio one, this has not been tapped at all, I don't think. But as far as the mattes go, I would have to say like maybe this mahogany shade or chestnut color. That one's been used quite frequently. Yeah, so I gotta say that this top row right here of mattes have been used more often than the purples. The purples have not been used as much, so I need to work on the purples. I need to work on some of these shimmers that I've called out that I have not even touched. And then of course the center highlighting one I have not touched either, so I need to work on that as well. So that is my update on my palettes for my painting project. I hope the other ladies might have done better progress than I have. I'm pretty sure they have. I mean, they use makeup all the time. Well, I guess I can't say all the time. I know that Laura the Bargain Hunter doesn't only wears it when she goes to work, and Sabrina with the Sabrina's unboxing and more, I think the same thing. I think she wears it when she goes to work. But as far as like creating looks with them on a daily basis using the same palettes, I'm not sure. They would have to answer that for you guys whenever they do their update. So, but this is my update. I just really haven't been using them as much. And like, I will be working on the ones that I have not used or have not touched. I will be working on them. So next time, hopefully next month, I'll be able to give you some kind of update and progress on the ones that I said I was going to work on this month to show you for next month. You know, well, for July. So yeah, so I'm going to try to work on those more and just show you the progress on the ones that I did work on. So thank you for watching, and I love you all. I hope that all are well, and thank you for taking the time and watching this video. And like I said, painting projects can be quite fun if you make it, and they are tedious. They do take a long time, you know, to pan out, but that's just something that you just have to, you know, when you go in doing that, you gotta, you know, that's something that it's already a given. It's already known that it's going to take you a while to pan these out. But the fun part of it is that you're using your palettes. You're not letting them sit there and collect dust, you know. You can use them as collector pieces if you want. But for me, I would rather use them than use them as collector pieces, because that's just me. I just don't like to collect makeup just to collect makeup. I like to collect it to wear it. So that's my take on eyeshadow, on makeup. You know, I don't just buy them to collect them. I buy them, you know, I buy them to wear them. And if there's a palette that I like, that I feel like would be a good centerpiece, or would be like a good that would be a good what do you call it, decoration or decorative piece, you know, because the packaging was so beautiful. Once I'm done with it, I'll probably put it as a, you know, something to put in the back in the wall, or maybe get a shelf or something to start stacking all the ones that I've already, you know, been through and panned out, or just, you know, but guaranteed they have been used. Okay, so anyways, thank you for, I'm just rambling on, so thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you, my gems. Bye.